Hello, friends. It's Mr. Matt here with your children's sermon for today, this Mother's Day. Now, I'd like to share a small story with you. And it was from a time where we were taking some of the youth from St. John's to go on a mission trip. And we were traveling overseas. We were going to a country called Costa Rica. And to travel between countries, you need a special document that's called a passport. And it has your picture and where you were born and other information. And it lets people know when you're traveling that you're a citizen of whatever country you're from. So from our very first meeting when we were planning the trip, I said, here is the information that you need, but you must have a passport to go on this trip. So if you don't have one, you need to get one. And then a few months passed and we were getting closer to the time of the trip. And when we put out the packing list, I shared with the team members, I said, if you don't pack anything else, remember to pack your passport. Without your passport, you cannot go on this mission trip. It's the absolute one thing that you need. And then we were 2 weeks away and people were getting excited about the trip. And at the meeting, I said, that's right. Get your things together, pack up. Remember not to make your bags too heavy so you don't have to pay extra when we fly them there. And remember, you have to bring your passport. And then when we were at the airport and people were coming and we were gathering to get ready to get onto the plane, as people would come up, the first I would say to them, hello, do you have your passport? Because it was that important. Now, I share this little story about, do you have your passport? Remember your passport. Where's your passport? Because having your passport was very important. It was something that you had to do. And so I repeated it several times to make sure that everybody on the team heard that they needed to have their passport with them. I emphasized it. I repeated it. I said it over and over again so that people would know this is important. I need to remember it. In our Jesus story today, we find Jesus doing the same thing for us and for all disciples. Jesus is talking to the disciples and he repeats one message over and over and over in our passage. He keeps repeating that we, as his followers, are supposed to love one another and to love others as ourselves. And he says, love other people over and over in this passage. And he says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And my commandment is this, that you love one another. And there's going to be a time when I am not with you, but the Spirit will be with you. But remember that you will show your love for me when I'm not there. If you remember my commandment, which is to love one another, love one another, love one another. It must be really important for Jesus, for him in this little passage that we have today as he's talking to the disciples, to keep saying over and over again, my commandment to you is to love one another. Love one another, love one another, love one another. It makes it easy for us to know what Jesus wants. He's told us over and over. He's shown us over and over what it means to follow him. He has called us to it. He sent the Spirit so that we can do it. So it's easy for us to know that our number one job as Christians is to love one another. It's kind of nice to have a clear sense of directions, but it does make you wonder when you think about it. If I'm following Jesus, am I loving other people? I know that I probably love the people that I live with in, wherever I am with my family. And I know that I love my friends, but Jesus is family is bigger than that. It's everybody. So am I doing something to show love for other people outside of my house and outside of my friends? And I think that's an important question that we should all think about. It was important enough for Jesus to tell us over and over again. But every once in a while, we need to stop and ask, am I really doing what Jesus wants me to do as his follower? How am I showing my love to others? I think that's something we can think about this week. I think that's something we can ponder, and if we're coming up short and we're not finding a lot of ways that we might be helping others, then maybe we can have a conversation with our families about what is it that we can do to show our love for Jesus and to love others. So that's all for today. Good luck with your thinking. I hope you come up with some good ways that you can love others. Until I see you, remember how much God loves you. Remember how much your parish family loves you. And I hope you know how much I love you too. All right. Go love one another. Bye.